So this is the part where I low-key regret not watching My Hero earlier, and the reason why I say, well, when I say earlier, I mean I kind of started a bit late. I started a few weeks before the start of Season 3, and this season, so far, has just been great from the start to, well, I haven't finished yet, from the start. Basically, the first episode was obviously just a bit of a recap. Get the people that were getting into the series, just a bit of a re-acknowledgement. I don't know if that's actually a word, but you get the point. It's just a bit of a reintroduction to the characters, and it was fun. But the past few episodes have just been crazy, and I'm gonna straight up say it. They captured certain moments perfectly, and when it comes to certain anime, Naruto, the studio, it comes down to the studios and how they ultimately adapt the manga into the anime. And you take a look at anime like Naruto, they stretch certain bits out. You know, take a look at Toei with One Piece. So I personally haven't seen One Piece, but from what I've heard, they've added filler to certain parts that didn't need to be there. But the point is, the studio has done an absolutely incredible job of adapting the manga into the anime, obviously, and just everything about it is just so perfect. And I heard a lot of people complain about the OST that they chose for the Muscular Deku fight. I thought it was absolutely perfect for the moment. It conveyed the emotion of the scene, and I will straight up say that it damn near made me tear up. It was such an emotional scene. I'm like, okay, this rarely ever happens, but this is a moment that genuinely hit me. The only other scene, or the only other anime that I can remember, doing this was the end of the Future Trunks arc when Trunks leaves. It was an extremely emotional moment. The OST was perfect. Yeah, that a moment with Future Gohan, it was extremely emotional, and the exact same thing happened here with Koda, Deku, and Muscular. The OST was perfect, and I know a lot of people are going to say you say Run would have been better, but I feel like it was more of a moment of desperation more than anything. And just, the OST was honestly perfect. I don't think I would have felt the exact same way if they used You Say Run. It's not to say that You Say Run is bad, or it wouldn't have been good in that particular scene, but I think the OST that they used during the Deku Muscular fight, of course, the end, was just perfect. So, to get into it, the episode starts with a recap of the end of the Deku Muscular fight. They did use a different OST, not the one that they used at the end of the last episode. But, wow, like, just the entire thing was just beautiful. That's all I can say, really. But like I was saying, so it kind of cuts back to Shigaraki, and he has a picture of Bakugo. Now, I kind of got spoiled, so I'm getting the idea of what's happening now, but I'm not going to actually spoil it myself. But the point is, it seems like the League of Villains is after Bakugo for whatever reason, okay? It then cuts back to Deku and Koda. They go over how they need to put out the fire that has been started by Darby. I'm still trying to process everything, because I'm still kind of stuck on the fact that, it's just crazy. Okay, but the point is, so we had Koda and obviously Deku. Deku's extremely hurt. He saved his legs so that he could obviously go to the fire with Koda and put it out, otherwise it's going to spread. And then it cuts to Aizawa, and he's like, okay, I need to go ahead and obviously help the students out. The moment he steps out of the building, Darby is just there, and he's like, he sticks his hand out, and he tries to blow him away with a, fire quirk, which is, I assume that's what it is, obviously. But then Aizawa manages to get away from it. He straps him down, raises his quirk, breaks both of his arms, and then Darby's just like, okay, so this is the limit of what I can take. And then he just basically disperses into nothing. And then it kind of cuts to Darby and another one of the villains. And they basically tell us that this other villain is capable of creating clones. Darby is like, can you create 2 clones of me, just to, put a bit of pressure, so to speak, on the teachers and students, because they clearly want to get Bakugo. That is their main goal right now. And then Aizawa and Deku actually meet up at some point. He sees that Deku uses quirk. He's like, okay, you did it again. And then we have a little bit of a flashback to I believe it was the dog. I can't remember the name. I do apologize. But he basically says that using quirks without permission is just not allowed. If you aren't given permission by a teacher or a guardian, that's it. You're just in trouble. So if it's in violation of a rule, Razorhead sees this and he's like, you did it again, didn't you? And then he wants Deku to give a message to one of the Pussycat dolls. I forgot the name. It's the one in red. And Deku goes to her and tells her to use her telepathy to relay a message to the students that they are allowed to use their quirks. But you would think that when a League of Villains appears, you are allowed to use your quirk, but it's no. You need the permission first. But it was a life or death situation for Deku, for the most part. Obviously, he wanted to save Koda, and it's like, I know it's in violation of the rules, but I have to use my quirk to be muscular, otherwise it's just kind of all over. So, I think Aizawa does realise that, and he said that he was going to take the punishment for it. Something along those lines. I don't actually know what the punishment is. But then we have this another extremely emotional scene with Koda and Aizawa, and Koda just like, I didn't even have a chance to thank Deku or say sorry for, what he did before. Deku doesn't even know what happened, just anything along those lines, like his parents. Well, he does know what happened with his parents, but I'm assuming Koda doesn't know that Deku knows. But he punched Deku, obviously, a few episodes back in his private area, and he's like, I didn't even get to say thank you or sorry. And then Aizawa said that Deku is going to most likely be in trouble because he used his quirk without permission. But he also said that he forgot to tell Deku to come back to him after he relayed the message to the Pussycat doll. So he did that. He's like, I forgot to tell him to come back because Deku's extremely injured, and the only reason why he is moving right now, I believe it's because of the endomorphins. I believe that's what Aizawa said. So basically, Deku's completely destroyed. He's basically capable of moving because of adrenaline. Let's just say that. But one thing that I actually forgot to mention, though, is Deku told the Pussycat doll to use her telepathy to say that the target of the League of Villains is Bakugo. So she relayed that message. It cuts to Bakugo and Todoroki. And of course, Bakugo being Bakugo, he's just like, screw it, I want to fight. But she specifically tells him to avoid conflict, like, at any cost. Because obviously, if their main goal is to capture Bakugo, the best thing to do is to avoid actually coming up against any members of the League of Villains. And then we have Kendo and the guy that is basically, it's not Kaminari, it's the one that can harden himself. I need to learn the names of the characters. Okay, so we have Kendo and then the opposite of our guy in Class A, and they are basically running through smoke, and this is just obviously another villain. The villain is capable of creating a whirlpool of gas around him. There's a center point. As closer you get to the center, the denser the gas gets. So they get to the center. He's just sitting there with a gun. He shoots. I really need to learn the names. It's actually annoying me. He shoots the guy that can harden himself, and he can kind of read the movements based on the flow of the gas. But then Kendo comes out of nowhere, enlarges her hand, just completely blows the wind away, and the gas away, and it distracts him enough to the point where the hardening guy, yeah, that's his name now, the hardening guy can just punch him, break his mask, which basically renders his ability, or his quirk, to create gas useless. So they take him out, and then it cuts, this is like the final scene of the episode, by the way. It cuts to Deku, and there's just like this bolt of lightning, it looks like a bolt of lightning, that going towards him, and then Shoji pops up. I believe that's the name, Soji, the one that has like arms and stuff. Yeah, multiple arms. He saves Deku, and then he's just like, you do realize, okay, stuff is about to go down because Tokoyami, his dark shadow is getting out of control because of how dark it is. And we have a flashback to the tournament where it says, well, he says he can't control dark shadow when it's night because he just kind of loses control. So that definitely is gonna be an interesting next episode. I haven't seen the next episode preview just yet, but honestly, just so much going on. It's crazy. It's great. The OST is great. The animation's great. A lot happened from start to finish. Another solid episode, but I still can't get over the muscular Deku stuff. I watched it prior to this episode. It's like, wow, this is actually crazy. It's just perfect. But that was it. A bit of a cool down, I suppose. There is still a lot of action going on, but from start to finish, Deku is a great protagonist. Like, his will to not give up is crazy. Again, he is most likely going to suffer some consequences, but I doubt it because he didn't have any choice but to use his quirk. They are all capable of using their quirks now. They are allowed to fight thanks to Aizawa, but it's like they should have been allowed to fight anyway because they are, in trouble. But that's the rules. Those are the laws that they had in place. But that was it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about the episode. What did you think? Personally, I thought it was insane. Just absolutely insane. And hopefully we will be able to get more episodes like this in the future, which I would imagine we will, but that episode was definitely a banger.